Well, hello everybody. Today we're talking about the Goon RDA. Alrighty, now this is a combination of my black one and my brass one, so yours is not going to look like this. Um, it's a 24 millimeter RDA. Okay, and basically this is what the deck looks like. Okay, it's hybrid friendly and you got some pretty wide posts up here so you can fit some really fat coils. The deck is really huge, all right, because it's a 24 RDA. Don't be scared about these posts, that they're big or something like that. Once you know, you look at them like this, they're not that fat, so you have tons of room to fit big coils. I'm going to show you something here. I'm not going to install it because I hold my camera so with my hand, but just to give you kind of an idea, there's like what a big fat coil would look like in it. So you got like tons of room for the coil, you got tons of room for the cotton, you got plenty of room for really anything you want. Okay, so don't even worry about it. It's, well, these are really kind of like my favorite RDAs. This and, well, the Goons are the Goons. All right, and I'll tell you why they're basically my favorite. They're very versatile, meaning that they're really a cloud chasing RDA, but it could also be a flavor chasing RDA, depending upon how many holes you have open. I'm kind of like I'm not a true cloud chaser. I'm not a true flavor chaser, that's for sure. I'm kind of in between. So that's kind of like how you set up your holes. If you're a flavor chaser, you have only one hole open. If you're a true cloud chaser and you're vaping very high wattage, say over 100 watts, you have all three open. But if you're like me, you have two open, and that way you get maybe not the best flavor, but really good flavor, as well as maybe not the best clouds, but also some really, really good clouds. All right, let's take a look at this again. This is a, oh, what do I have in here? Okay, it's a 0.18 ohm dual coil, dual coils, really, is what is in here. Okay, all right, so I got dual coils in here. At 4.34 volts, 105 watts. Let's have a little vape. All right, now, I ain't got the lungs like a lot of you guys, but I mean, we're talking clouds. You know, without me really even trying. Um, and if I really wanted to push this, I could push these coils. These, but come on, I only got so much here, right? For those who are maybe a little late to the game and are still thinking of buying this, um, I highly recommend either stainless steel or the black, which is a black stainless steel, um, because cleanup is a breeze. All right. I already have a brass mod, so to have a brass RDA means nothing. And cleaning it for me is not that hard or difficult, and but it does take maybe a little bit more time than say the mod, because the mod's stupid easy. I have a system for cleaning that mod, my Aventador, so 5 minutes, it's clean. Except for maybe once a month, I'll really give it a deep cleaning, even a little bit inside, say around, I'll pull out the positive contacts, clean them up. I'm always keeping the negative contacts clean. And if I had my negative contacts right here, I would maybe show you how to clean them real fast, or a cheap trick. But a cheap trick to clean like contacts for a mod or something like that, like those little twisty contacts or something else like that. Just rub them back and forth real fast on the underneath side of a mouse pad. All right, that's cheating. I mean, you still should clean it really better than that, but all right. Um, how the RDE works is the Top Cat has a little inner barrel that you just twist to open and close the holes. It's real simple. This is the brass one, and you basically get this drip tip. This drip tip is still wide bore, although it's the narrowest tip I have for it. A lot of good flavor out of this drip tip. Okay, this drip tip will give you plenty of clouds. Don't you worry, if you're a big cloud chaser, you like to see big clouds come out, no problem. Okay, the black one also comes with this very wide bore chuff cap. Okay, and so you get like both tips. That's why you kind of like paying a little extra for it. And I got a couple of other tips for it. I got a very, very, very ultra wide. It's wow wide. it's think of it this way. It's like wider than that. You know what I'm saying? It's wider than taking out the tip. I mean, it's wide. All right. It's like it's like a chuff cap, top cap, whatever. It's all right. That thing maybe is for your extremely high wattage vapor, 130, 150, 60, 80, whatever watts. For those freaks, yeah. All right. Or maybe, yeah, it's for those really crazy people that do like 150, 160, 70, whatever, those nut jobs out there. All right, but there's no flavor, and oh yeah, so like this ultra wide chuff cap is going to have obviously less flavor, but more clouds. So it's that back and forth. And I just recently got this drip tip, and it's sort of like a combination of the two. It's maybe not so narrow, okay, but as the narrow one, but it's not so wide as the ultra wide. So it's like, again, a combination. It's really kind of like somewhere in the middle, sort of like how I like to use two holes here, for a kind of like the best of both worlds for clouds and flavor. And this is maybe my favorite drip tip because it's a combination of pretty damn good flavor, pretty damn good clouds. It's, whatever. Let's have another vape. Oh, yeah, buddy. Vaping some apple butter. And let's see here. So what could I say about it? Another good thing about it is extremely well made. You have no idea how cheap some of these Chinese-made RDAs can be made cheap, and you don't realize it because you buy one RDA, the second RDA, the third RDA, they're all the same. So you think that the quality is all the same. This one, I'm telling you, it's extremely well made. The threads on the 510 pin is very well, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, it's very whatever. Okay, it's almost like a higher quality, like a better machining. All right, is what I'm looking for. Better machining. Um, the machining on this is really, really good. Very deep engraving. Well, maybe not very deep, but deep enough where it's quality. It's hard to tell on my garbage cell phone thing or whatever. But especially on brass, it's a little hard. Even the black is hard to tell, but it's really good. And you kind of get what you pay for. You know, I have not seen or used any of the clones, but they should be more or less comparable. I mean, they kind of make them one to one, and it's not just size, but kind of in quality as well. They might cheat a little here and there, but it's they don't. They today. I think they're really trying to work very hard in making also the same quality of the original. The only RDA that I have that matches the ruggedness, the real, is, believe it or not, the Comp Vape 13 Heavens and 9 Hells. And the reason why I say that is not that there's anything wrong with one of my favorites right here, to the Double Vision, but it's just the barrel feels like it's a thin aluminum or something. And the top cap part here that runs around, that you put your drip tip in, also it feels like, I'm sure it's stainless steel, but it feels like a very thin aluminum. Very thin is my point. Whereas, and run it over with a car, it's squished. You know what I mean? Whereas, say, 13 Heavens, 9 Hells, pick it right up out of the street after it gets run over on a car, and I'm sure it'll get scarred up and whatever, but just rinse it off and you'll be good. You know what I mean? That thing is going to last. More or less the same thing with the Goon. The walls and whatnot, I mean, just, you could basically see it with the deck even. The walls of the deck are thick. You know what I mean? Everything is just thick and solidly made. The what you call it, the rings, the O-rings, I think they give you a couple extra, maybe an extra screw or something, but no extra post plates and no extra anything. But the O-rings are perfect size, easy to pull off, easy to pull on, even though I basically drip right down the center. And it's also easy by pulling out the positive pin and this other screw right here to remove these posts. So especially like on my brass deck, okay, once, well, I don't know, I don't time myself, but every now and then I get into a phase where I'll just rip out the posts so I can get deep into the grooves to polish up my brass RDA. I really don't feel a need to do stainless steel because it doesn't tarnish or it doesn't, patina. So because it doesn't patina, what do I have to rip the posts out for? But this does patina. The brass does. That's why I kind of don't recommend it unless you already have a copper mod. Then buy a copper Goon. If you have a brass mod, buy a brass Goon. You know what I mean? Because you gotta polish anyway, and you have the junk to clean it. But so I only did it twice, and I have this for a while. Don't feel the need. There may have been one time I was a little lazy in cleaning it because I personally don't care if my mod or my RDA gets a little bit patinaed. I know some people get freaky about fingerprints and and this and that, and they would never buy my mod because it's a fingerprint magnet and gets dirty fast and patinas and yeah, and who cares? It vapes. And so maybe one time I didn't really clean my deck and for a little while, and there's and also inside here it's going to patina, and the inside here and everything's going to patina, and the outside, well, who cares about the outside, but the inside could affect the flavor of your juice. And I'll be honest with you, even during that time where I didn't clean it for a while and just kept changing the cotton and wicking it and whatever, and I didn't taste any flavor difference. So, okay, it wasn't filthy and it wasn't disgusting, but, I just didn't really clean it and for a while, and it didn't affect the flavor, at least for me. And then when I got unlazy a day or two later, then it got cleaned. But I don't always use my brass deck because, like I said, you had to clean it. So I use more my black deck because it's far easier to clean. And then if I do like this and don't vape it all black, then I just, clean it whenever I clean it. And, and I didn't clean this in a while, and it's not really that bad. I'm trying to see with the light, with the, reflection in the light or whatever. That's not so bad. That's good. And I haven't cleaned it in almost 2 weeks. So that's not so bad. Then again, I might not have vaped it for about 4 or 5 days until now. So, whatever. There's not much more to say. Except for there's a little trick to tightening down the screws. Don't tighten down one and then tighten down the next and then tighten down the next and tighten down the next. Kind of do them in order and go back and forth like from one screw, you tighten it down a little bit, then tighten down the second screw a little bit, then go back to the first, then go back to the second, then the first, then the second. So it kind of makes that little bridge or that little plate go down very even. Okay? And I'll be honest with you, that's the hardest part. And that's probably the only con. And I'll be honest with you, it's not a con to me. It's just a different way of wrenching down your coils. True, the double vision might be a smidgen easier, a little bit drop easier. But come on, it's not that big of a deal. And you get used to it real fast, and you don't even notice it. There just really isn't much of cons of anything. There really isn't. The Goon was highly anticipated long before it came out. I was watching, a lot of little things pop up on it, and I'm hearing everybody else liking whatever. And I may not have gotten it immediately at the time of release. I wanted to hear some people also talk about it, not maybe make a review, but whatever. On Google Plus, and everybody was just loving it. So after maybe a week or two or whatever, I waited for payday or whatever, and I just got the brass one, or I didn't really get it. My girl bought it for me, and then like a week later, or a couple of days later, I had to go back down to Florida, and while I'm in Florida, she won a raffle in one of the vape shops from the last time we were in the vape shop. I bought a raffle, she bought a raffle, and I got the black one. So she kind of felt bad that she paid all this money to buy me the brass, and then a couple of days later, she gets a phone call she won the raffle. So she paid money and then got another one. She was like, I could have just gotten you a free one. Anyway, there's really nothing to say. If you're thinking about it, even getting the clone, just get it. Please, 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 please just get it. Get the damn thing. 10 out of 10. No, 11 out of an 11. This is the deal. 11 out of 11. They take Kennedy-style drip tips. And in fact, today, you go on eBay or you go here and there, and they'll list them as Kennedy and Goon drip tips. Okay, just you can buy all different colors, millions of different colors, designs, whatever. Ones that are like flat battle type caps, they call them, and then ones slightly taller like mine and whatnot. All different colors, all different whatevers. You can't go wrong. Just go get it. Get it, get it, get it. An 11 out of 11. You can't go wrong. Peace.